If you're broke but love big games, don't worry. Today we're checking out the best AAA games you can grab for under $10 in 2025. Smash that like and subscribe. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, $3.99, 90% off. Wild Hunt. Let's start with a monster. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt usually costs $39.99. This game gives you a giant open world full of quests that feel like mini-movies. You play as Geralt, a monster hunter who is both cool and tired of everyone's nonsense. People call this one of the greatest RPGs ever made, and for $4, you basically get hundreds of hours of fantasy greatness. Even side missions slap harder than main stories in other games. Geralt needs money. You need games. This feels like Destiny. Middle-earth, Shadow of War, $4.99, 90% off. This game hands you an open world where you build an army of orcs. The Nemesis system makes enemies remember you, which makes every battle personal. Shadow of War originally cost $49.99, so the discount is crazy. There are fort battles, sneaky assassinations, and you can mind control giant monsters. Fans of The Lord of the Rings will be busy for days. Injustice 2, $4.99, 90% off. Superheroes beating the life out of each other is always fun. Injustice 2 has a story mode that plays like a DC movie and tons of characters like Batman, Superman, and Harley Quinn. This one costs $49.99 normally. You can unlock gear, try online fights, or just mash buttons until victory magically appears. Very satisfying.
Injustice 2, the Legendary Edition. Available.
Injustice 2, Legendary Edition, $5.99, 90% off. Legendary Edition. If you want the version that includes all the DLC characters and costumes, the Legendary Edition sits just $1 more. This version usually costs $59.99. You get a bigger roster, more stages, and more fun ways to confuse your opponent with super moves.
Will define the legacy of Hogwarts.
Hogwarts Legacy, $8.99, 85% off. Travel to Hogwarts for a tiny price. This open-world adventure is set in the wizarding world with spells, beasts, and flying broomsticks. It normally costs $59.99, and it still looks like a modern blockbuster. Choose your house, explore hidden rooms, blast goblins with magic, and pretend you finally got your Hogwarts letter. Just don't use the unforgivable curses on friendly NPCs, or do I'm not judging. Mad Max, $2.99, 85% off. The apocalypse becomes a playground. Mad Max throws you into dusty wastelands filled with bandits and car chases. It costs $19.99 normally, yet you can get it for less than a cup of coffee. You upgrade your ride and make explosions everywhere. The sandstorms are wild, the hand-to-hand combat is crunchy, and the vehicles are your best friends. Batman, Arkham Knight, $3.99, 80% off. Arkham Knight, you can be the Batman. Arkham Knight usually costs $19.99. It has one of the best superhero combat systems in any game. The Batmobile joins the party to help chase bad guys and shoot tanks. The story is dark and dramatic, and the city looks incredible in the rain. Just try not to crash the Batmobile every 5 minutes like I do.
You thought I'd die! Guess what? I didn't!
Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, Game of the Year Edition, $3.99, 80% off. Game of the Year Edition. This game lets you bully orcs before Shadow of War made it bigger. The Game of the Year Edition normally costs $19.99 and includes all the DLC. The Nemesis system creates rivalries that make the world feel alive. Sneak, stab, and climb every tower in Mordor like you own the place.
Great trip, and I hope you enjoy the game. I know you will. Boom!
It Takes Two. $9.99, 75% off. Grab a friend because this game needs 2 players. It Takes Two usually costs $39.99 and won a bunch of Game of the Year awards. Every level has new gameplay ideas. 1 minute you're flying, next you're turning into plants or solving puzzles. Play with a friend, partner, sibling, or even your worst enemy. It might heal your relationship or destroy it. Either way, fun times. Control Ultimate Edition, $3.99, 90% off. Ultimate Edition, this is a trippy action game full of weird supernatural powers. Control Ultimate Edition usually costs $39.99 and includes both major DLC expansions. You can levitate, throw objects with your mind, and fight spooky creatures in a government building that changes shape. The story is mysterious and stylish. Even the furniture becomes dangerous.
A civilization.
Sid Meyers Civilization 6, $5.99, 90% off. Want to start wars with Gandhi? Here you go. Civ 6 normally costs $59.99. Build cities, research science, negotiate peace, and then totally betray your neighbors. You can lead famous world rulers and rewrite history for hours and hours. This game eats weekends like snacks. Tell your friends you're busy saving humanity. Doom Eternal, $3.99, 90% off. This is pure adrenaline. Doom Eternal, normally $39.99, turns demon blasting into a sport. You run fast, rip monsters apart, and switch weapons non-stop. The soundtrack makes you feel like a powerful, angry space dad. There is no hiding. You only go forward and shoot. A great way to relieve stress. Far Cry Primal, $4.99, 85% off. This Far Cry sends you back to the Stone Age. The regular price is $29.99, but right now it is cheap and wild. You tame saber-toothed tigers, shoot spears, and bonk enemy tribes on the head with clubs. There are no guns here, only pure prehistoric chaos. South Park, The Fractured But Whole, $4.99, 90% off. This one looks like you're playing an actual South Park episode. It usually costs $59.99. You and the kids become superheroes and fight in a turn-based combat system. It is silly, offensive, and hilarious. Probably don't play this with your parents in the room. Rise of the Tomb Raider, 20-year celebration, $2.99 to $4.99, 80 to 90% off. Lara Croft climbs mountains, solves puzzles, and fights bad guys like a queen. The normal price is $29.99, but right now it can be as low as $3. The snowy environments and cinematic story make this adventure a steal at this price. Assassin's Creed Unity, $4.49, 85% off. Travel to Paris during the French Revolution. Unity costs $29.99 normally, but is super cheap right now. The city is huge and packed with detail. The game had issues long ago, but today it runs great and looks beautiful. Parkour across rooftops like a stylish ninja in a cool coat. Dying Light Essentials Edition, $4.99, 85% off. Zombies chase you. You run on rooftops. At night, they chase you harder. Dying Light normally costs $39.99. This version includes major content that makes the package super valuable. The parkour is smooth and the action is brutal. The zombies never take a break, even when you want one. Desperados 3, $3.99, 90% off. This is a tactical Wild West strategy game. The price is usually $39.99. You control a small squad of heroes and sneak around enemy camps with smart planning. It feels like solving puzzles where the puzzle pieces are cowboys, and when you succeed, you feel like the smartest sheriff alive. Middle Earth: Shadow of War Definitive Variant, $4.99, 90% off. Another version of Shadow of War, and this one includes extra DLC for the same cheap price. $49.99 becomes $4.99. That means more orcs to recruit, more fortresses to conquer, and more story content to enjoy. Overcooked 2 Gourmet Edition, $9.69, 80% off. This is the most chaotic cooking experience ever. The Gourmet Edition normally costs $48.49 and includes extra levels and chefs. You toss food, yell at teammates, and try not to burn everything. Play with friends unless you want peace and no arguments. Devil May Cry 5, $9.89, 67% off. Stylish action with characters who fight like rock stars. DMC5 usually costs $29.99. You can juggle demons in the air like toys. The story is dramatic, but you mostly stay for the sword combos and cool hair. This deal is perfect for hack and slash fans. Risk of Rain 2, $8.24, 67% off. This is a third-person roguelike shooter with insane enemy swarms. The original price is $24.99. Every run is different with new items and powers. The longer you stay alive, the stronger enemies become. At one point, there are more monsters than screen space. Try to survive. Good luck. All of these games cost under $10 right now. You can fill your library with huge adventures, wild stories, and hours of fun without crying over your wallet. Thanks for watching. Hit like, drop a comment telling me which game you're buying first, and make sure to subscribe for more cheap gaming deals. See you next time, and happy gaming.